Right, so get this. Today we are going to do a deep dive into PocketBase.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard about this?
I have.
It's this crazy, new tool that's got everyone talking. And I've got to say, even I was kind of blown away by how much they've packed into a single file.
Yeah.
We're talking a whole back end, right?
Yeah.
So I've pulled up some articles, documentation excerpts, even found some snippets from that dev podcast, the one that we both love.
Yep.
So yeah, let's break it down.
Let's do it.
See if it lives up to the hype.
Okay.
What really caught my attention was how PocketBase, it's trying to solve this age-old developer problem.
Right.
Building a back end.
Yeah.
It's like they took all the essentials, right?
Yeah.
The database, authentication, file storage, crammed it all into one neat little packet.
It's like a one-stop shop.
Right, exactly. It's like you're building an app, and instead of having to, wrestle with a million different tools, you've got this one thing that can do it all.
Exactly.
And we're not just talking basic features here.
Yep.
It's got real-time data updates, with that embedded school-like database.
Yeah, with the subscriptions and stuff. Yeah.
So I was thinking, imagine building something like a live chat app.
Right.
With PocketBase, you could push new messages to users instantly.
Real time.
Boom, there it is.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got the built-in authentication.
Oh, yeah.
You know how much time we usually spend setting up user logins?
Right.
It's like PocketBase just handles that for you.
Totally.
And then you can focus on the features that actually make your app unique, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so get this. I was reading that even on a basic server,
Okay.
PocketBase can handle something like 10,000.
Wow.
Plus real-time connections at once.
That is a lot.
It's like, how is this little file doing so much heavy lifting?
It's amazing how efficient it is, and then that makes it, scalable. And surprisingly affordable, too.
Yeah.
The really fascinating thing is this whole project, PocketBase, it's the brainchild of a single developer from Bulgaria.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So, talk about a testament to open source, right?
Definitely.
And just individual passion.
Mm-hmm.
It's inspiring.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, the UI on the admin dashboard is super clean and easy to navigate.
It is.
It's almost like cheating, compared to setting up a traditional back end.
Yeah, it's way easier. I'd say it gives even those big platforms.
Oh, wow.
Like a WordPress,
Yeah.
a run for their money when it comes to user friendliness.
Okay.
And that's not just, marketing fluff.
Right.
They really thought this through. Take schema creation, for example.
Okay.
Instead of throwing, all this database jargon at you, it's all visual, right?
Okay, yeah.
And it uses terms that we use every day,
Right.
like URL or rich text.
Makes you wonder why it hasn't been done this way all along.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just stop there, right?
Right.
It's got those built-in indexes and API rules.
Yeah.
That means less manual coding for us.
Exactly. It's all about streamlining the process, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that, let's say, only certain users can edit, specific data.
Right.
You just set up an API rule and boom.
Okay.
Instant security without writing tons of code.
I like that. Plus, they've got all these other handy integrations built in, email templates, SMTP.
Oh, yeah.
Even seamless integration with S3 for file storage. It's they anticipated every single thing a developer could want.
It's true. The attention to detail is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Even the API documentation adapts to your specific setup.
Oh, wow.
So you're not wading through a bunch of irrelevant information.
I like that.
Yeah.
What about deployment?
Oh, deployment is a breeze.
Okay.
They have one-click installs on platforms like Coolify and Fly.io.
Oh.
It really feels like they've removed all the barriers to getting started.
Okay, so speaking of getting started quickly,
Yeah.
I heard this story on a podcast, right?
Okay.
About a developer who built a whole breakdancing app
Whoa.
using PocketBase and SvelteKit, all while on a flight.
No way.
If that's not a testament to its ease of use, I don't know what is.
That's incredible. It really shows how PocketBase can empower developers to, bring their ideas to life.
Right.
Even, on a whim,
Yeah, it's amazing.
So I'm curious,
Yeah.
what stood out to you the most so far? What's really piqued your interest?
Honestly, this whole single file backend concept is just blowing my mind.
Yeah.
How does that even work?
Right.
And how does it impact performance?
Mm,
I'm really curious to dig deeper into those technical nitty-gritty details.
me too. I think it's worth exploring how PocketBase achieves this level of efficiency and what are the trade-offs?
Yeah.
But before we move on, we'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
What are your initial thoughts on PocketBase? Have you had any experience with it?
Yeah. Share your insights in the comments below.
And if you are enjoying, this deep dive into PocketBase,
Yes.
don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this episode.
Right, so you don't miss out on any future explorations.
Into the world of tech.
Exactly.
And we are always on the lookout for new topics.
Always.
So let us know in the comments what you'd like us to cover next.
Yes, please. Okay, let's get back to PocketBase. I'm ready to, really understand how they managed to pack so much power and functionality into this single file.
Yeah, let's unpack the magic behind PocketBase's efficiency. It's time to get into the technical details.
Let's do it.
Okay. So yeah, let's talk about this whole single file magic thing. What PocketBase is doing is actually kind of revolutionary. They've managed to encapsulate a complete back-end ecosystem within a single portable file.
Right. It's pretty mind-boggling when you think about it.
It is.
Yeah. Compared to the traditional back-end setup, with its sprawling servers, databases, all of that.
Right.
It's like they condensed a whole data center.
It is.
Into a digital briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
How do they pull that off?
Well, I think a big part of it, the secret sauce, lies in their use of Squeelite.
Okay, yeah.
Remember Squeelite? It's known for being incredibly lightweight and self-contained.
Right.
It doesn't need a separate server process,
right,
which makes it perfect for this kind of embedded setup.
So instead of having to connect to a bulky external database, everything's running smoothly within that single PocketBase file.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's like having a mini data center tucked away.
It is, yeah.
Neatly inside your application.
Yeah.
But what happens when your application grows,
Right.
and you need more horsepower?
Right.
Does PocketBase, trap you in this Squeelite world?
No, not at all. Actually, they built in this option where you can connect to those external databases.
Right.
Like your MySQL or PostgreSQL.
Right.
If you need to, really scale up.
Okay.
It's like they have a growth path built right in.
Right.
You can start small, keep it simple, and then as your needs evolve, you can just seamlessly transition.
So you're not stuck.
Yeah.
To a more, robust database setup.
That's reassuring. I was wondering about customization too.
Right.
What if you need to tweak things under the hood?
Yeah.
Is PocketBase just this black box?
That's a great question. Actually, PocketBase is designed with extensibility in mind.
Okay.
You can extend its functionality using both Go, which is the language PocketBase itself is built on,
right,
and JavaScript.
Okay, so if we need more specialized features,
right,
or if we want to tweak existing behavior, we're not just stuck with the defaults.
Exactly.
Okay, we've got options.
You do. This means that developers can tailor PocketBase
to their specific needs, making it even more versatile.
Yeah.
It's they found this perfect balance between, simplicity for beginners and flexibility for those who want more control.
Right. Makes a lot of sense. And speaking of control, those API rules that we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Those seem like a really powerful way to manage data access and security.
They are.
Can you give us an example of how that works in practice?
Absolutely. So let's say you are building a social media app.
Okay.
And you want to make sure that only the author of a post can edit or delete it, right?
Yeah.
So with PocketBase, you can define an API rule that enforces this restriction.
Okay.
It's like having a built-in security guard.
So instead of writing a bunch of custom code to handle all those permissions, it's all handled through these rules.
Right.
I like that.
And, they've made it super easy to set up. It's all done visually through this user-friendly interface.
This is reminding me of something that you mentioned earlier, about how PocketBase is kind of democratizing back-end development.
Right.
What did you mean by that?
So think about it. Traditionally, building a robust backend that required specialized knowledge.
Yeah.
A lot of times, often a hefty budget.
Right. It was a barrier.
It was a huge barrier.
For a lot of people.
It was.
Aspiring developers, especially.
Yeah, and PocketBase changes that.
Okay.
It changes the equation.
So by simplifying the backend and making it more accessible, PocketBase is potentially opening doors for a whole new generation of creators.
Exactly.
It empowers, individuals and small teams to build applications that were previously out of reach.
Right.
Imagine like a small business owner
Yeah,
who can now create their own like custom app
totally.
without needing like a whole team of back-end engineers.
That's right.
That's pretty amazing when you think about the possibilities.
It is.
It could lead to like a surge in creativity
Right.
and innovation
Absolutely.
as more people are empowered to build, their own tools and solutions.
Precisely. And that's something I find like incredibly exciting about PocketBase. It has the potential to democratize not just the technology,
Right.
but also like the creative process itself.
That's a powerful thought. It reminds me of the early days of the web when anyone with like a basic understanding of HTML could create their own website.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
I think PocketBase could like usher in a similar era
Okay.
for back-end development where the tools are just so intuitive
Right.
and accessible that anyone with an idea can bring it to life.
We keep talking about the ease of use and everything, but what about like how does it perform under pressure?
Yeah.
What if you've got like a really demanding application with, lots of users, complex data interactions, all that?
Right. That's where it's like performance and efficiency really shine. Remember that stat we mentioned earlier about handling like 10,000 plus real-time connections on a like basic server?
Yeah.
That's not just a marketing gimmick.
Okay.
That's a testament to like how lean and mean PocketBase is under the hood.
So we don't have to sacrifice performance for simplicity.
Exactly.
That's pretty impressive.
They've managed to strike this like balance between, user friendliness and raw power, which is like quite a feat.
Right.
It's like getting the best of both worlds.
Okay. All right. I have to ask, are there any downsides to using PocketBase? Like there's got to be a catch, right?
Well, like any tool, PocketBase has its limitations.
Okay.
For example, if you need to work with like very large data sets.
Right.
Or if you require highly specialized database features, you might still need to consider a more traditional backend setup.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not a silver bullet for every single use case, but it seems like a fantastic option for like a wide range of projects.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that PocketBase is still a relatively young project.
Right.
It's evolving rapidly.
Yeah.
New features are being added all the time.
That's the beauty of open source, right?
It is.
There's a whole community behind it.
Yes.
Constantly like pushing it forward.
Exactly.
Right. So the community is a huge part of PocketBase's success.
It is. It really is.
They're actively involved in shaping the project's direction, contributing code, providing support to other users.
Yeah.
It's a great resource for anyone who wants to get started with PocketBase, really. If you have a question, there's a good chance somebody in the community has already answered it.
Probably. Yeah.
I can't help but think back to like the early days of the web when people were just sharing HTML snippets and building websites together.
Yeah.
There's that same sense of like excitement and possibility around PocketBase.
I completely agree. It feels like we're witnessing the birth of like a new ecosystem.
Yeah.
One where back-end development is no longer like this daunting task, but rather a playground for creativity.
Love that. So before we move on to the final part of our PocketBase deep dive,
Okay.
I want to circle back to something we mentioned earlier. The ability to extend PocketBase with Go and JavaScript.
Oh, yeah.
Could you give us a few like concrete examples of how developers might actually use this feature?
Of course. So let's say you're building like an e-commerce app with PocketBase, right?
Yeah.
And you need to integrate with like a third-party payment gateway.
Okay. Yeah.
You could use Go or JavaScript to write like a custom extension.
Right.
That handles that communication with that gateway.
Right.
And then seamlessly integrate it into your PocketBase backend.
That's a great example. It really shows how like extensibility can unlock the potential of PocketBase, allowing developers to like integrate with this vast ecosystem of tools and services.
Yeah.
What's another example?
Another example could be building like a custom notification system.
Let's say you want to send users like real-time notifications when certain events occur within your application. You could write an extension that like leverages PocketBase's real-time capabilities to deliver those notifications instantly.
That's a really cool use case. It's like having the power to build your own mini features, you know, on top of PocketBase, just tailoring it to your specific needs.
Exactly.
Okay.
And as the community grows and they're like sharing these extensions, we can expect to see like an even richer ecosystem of plugins and add-ons
I like it.
for PocketBase further enhancing its functionality.
It's like having a whole toolbox of pre-built solutions
It is.
at your fingertips,
Yeah.
ready to be plugged into your PocketBase backend.
Right.
That opens up a world of possibilities.
It really does, and it speaks to the power of, like, open source collaboration.
Right.
Developers are building upon each other's work, creating this, like, vibrant and ever-expanding ecosystem. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, before we move on to the final part of our PocketBase deep dive, I want to encourage everyone listening to check out the show notes. We've included links to all the resources we've mentioned, including PocketBase's website, documentation, and community forum.
And if you're enjoying this episode, don't forget to subscribe to The Deep Dive for more deep dives into, fascinating tools and technologies.
Absolutely. We're always on the lookout for new topics to explore, so let us know in the comments what you'd like us to cover next. Now let's shift gears and delve into some of the real-world applications of PocketBase. I'm curious to see how developers are actually using this tool in their projects.
Me too. Let's explore the practical side of PocketBase and see how it's being used to build innovative applications.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about what PocketBase is.
Right.
But what about what it can do?
Yeah.
What kind of real-world projects are people actually building with this thing?
Yeah, that's the exciting part. We're seeing a really diverse range of applications built on PocketBase.
Okay.
From simple personal projects to full-fledged commercial products.
Give us some examples. What have you seen out there that's caught your eye?
Well, I've seen some really cool stuff. For instance, some developers are using PocketBase to build internal tools and dashboards for their companies.
Oh, okay.
It's perfect for creating custom solutions.
Yeah.
For managing data, tracking progress, even automating workflows.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like a low-code platform for building internal tools.
Right.
Without needing a dedicated back-end team or anything.
Exactly.
Cool. What else?
There's also this growing community of indie game developers.
Oh, wow.
That are embracing PocketBase.
Okay.
They are using it to handle player profiles, leaderboards, even in-game economies.
Yeah.
Those real-time capabilities make it ideal for creating dynamic and engaging multiplayer experiences.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I can see how the ease of use would be a huge draw.
Yeah.
For indie developers especially.
Right.
They might not have the resources for really complex back-end setup.
Yeah.
Are there any examples of PocketBase being used for more consumer-facing apps?
Definitely. I've seen people building everything from social networking apps to task management tools, even e-commerce platforms.
Wow.
All using PocketBase. It's versatile enough to handle a wide range of use cases.
It's almost like PocketBase is becoming this catalyst for creativity.
It is.
It's lowering the barrier to entry.
It is.
Allowing more people to bring their app ideas to life.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's democratizing app development in a way we haven't really seen before. And the best part is PocketBase is still evolving. So as the community grows and contributes, we can expect to see even more innovative and powerful use cases.
That's exciting. Speaking of the community, I've been really impressed with how active and engaged they are.
Oh, yeah.
They're constantly sharing their projects, helping each other out.
Yeah.
Contributing to the development of PocketBase itself. Mm-hmm. The community is definitely one of PocketBase's greatest strengths.
That is.
It's a testament to, that open source spirit of collaboration and knowledge sharing.
Yeah.
And it's just a great resource for anyone who wants to get started with PocketBase, really. I can't help but think back to the early days of the web, when people were just sharing HTML snippets and building websites together.
Right.
There's that same sense of excitement and possibility around PocketBase.
I completely agree. It feels like we're witnessing the birth of a new ecosystem. One where back-end development is no longer this daunting task, but rather a playground for creativity.
I love that. So to wrap things up, what does the future hold for PocketBase?
Oh, that's a great question.
What are you most excited to see happen with this technology?
Well, I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible with PocketBase.
Sure.
I'm excited to see how the community continues to push the boundaries of what this tool can do.
Yeah.
I think we'll see even more integrations.
Right.
Extensions, pre-built solutions emerge, making it even easier and faster to build really powerful applications.
I'm also curious to see Like how PocketBase will impact the broader landscape of back-end development. Will it become like the go-to solution for a lot of different projects, or will it remain kind of a niche tool for like specific use cases?
Only time will tell, but I think PocketBase has the potential to disrupt the status quo.
Okay.
Its simplicity, versatility, and performance make it a really compelling alternative to those traditional back-end setups. And as the community continues to grow and innovate, I wouldn't be surprised to see PocketBase become a major player in the world of app development.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into the world of PocketBase. I'm walking away with a newfound appreciation for this tool and its potential.
Me too.
It's been inspiring to explore the possibilities, see how it's empowering developers to create amazing things. If you're listening and you're feeling as inspired as we are, we encourage you to check out the show notes for links to all the resources that we mentioned.
Yeah.
And of course, head over to the PocketBase website and start building your own projects.
And if you have any thoughts or questions or even app ideas that you want to share, be sure to leave a comment below. We love hearing from you.
We do. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into PocketBase, be sure to subscribe to the deep dive for more explorations into the fascinating world of technology.
Yeah.
We're always looking for new and interesting topics to cover, so let us know what you'd like us to explore next.
Until next time, keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep diving deep.